All right, so here's a weird question to start your day. When was the last time you actually Googled something? No, I'm serious. Stop and think about it for a second. Did you open Chrome and type something into that little search bar? Or did you maybe open Instagram and search for that new cafe everyone's talking about? Or jumped on YouTube to figure out how to fix your laptop charger? Or, come on, let's be honest here. Did you just throw a question into your WhatsApp group, college office, and wait for someone for an answer? If you did any of those last three things, welcome to the club. You're officially part of a massive global shift that's keeping Google executives up at night. And I mean, literally, these people are so stressed. All right, today's episode is a bit on the lighter note, but honestly, it might change how you think about something you do dozens of times a day without even realizing it. I'm talking about search. How you find information, how you discover products, how you make decisions. And spoiler alert, everything has changed in the last couple of years. And most of us didn't even notice it happening. Yep, so buckle up, grab your chai, coffee, and let's dive into this. Trust me, by the end of this episode, you're going to start paying very close attention to which apps you open when you need to find something.
You're listening to Nelson John 360. Nelson John 360.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Nelson John 360. I'm your host, Nelson John, and this is where I decode the world for curious minds. If you're new here, thanks for giving this a shot. And if you're back for another round, you already know how this works. I take the complicated stuff happening around us and try and break it down into conversations that actually make sense. All right, so where were we? Oh yeah, Google executives losing sleep. Here's the thing that blew my mind when I started digging into this. In July 2022, this Google VP named Prabhakar Raghavan gets up at a tech conference and drops this absolute bombshell. He says, and I'm paraphrasing it here, but the essence is there, all right? Almost 40% of young people don't use Google Maps or Google Search when they're looking for lunch spots. They go to TikTok or Instagram instead. Now, pause on that for a moment. Google, the company whose name literally became a verb, the company that basically invented internet search as we know it, is standing there admitting their own research shows young people are ditching them. It's like Coca-Cola admitting people prefer water now. It's wild. But wait, this gets even better or worse, depending on whether you own Google stock. That 40%, that was 2022. The latest numbers, 51%, more than half of Gen Zs. We're talking everyone born between 97 and 2012 would rather search on social media than Google. Let that sink in while I sip my coffee here. Now, here's where India comes into the picture. And this is where our story really gets interesting. Because TikTok, the app that's basically eaten Google's lunch everywhere else, has been banned in India since June 2020. So we've got over 200 million Gen Z users in India. The TikTok revolution is happening worldwide, and we can't even access the platform. So what did we do? Did we just go back to Google like good old users? Absolutely no. We built our own thing. And honestly, it's kind of brilliant. Okay, I'm going to paint a picture for you here of what is actually happening on the ground in India, because the data is absolutely fascinating. Globally, TikTok has completely taken over Gen Z search behavior. Like, say, 74% of American Gen Z users are using TikTok search as their primary search engine. 3/4 when they want to know the best budget smartphone or how to remove a stain from their shirt, they're not typing into Google. They're searching TikTok. 77% of them are discovering products there. But India can't play that game. So we improvised, adapted, overcame. Like that meme, the one? YouTube became our everything. And I don't mean just for watching comedy sketches or music videos. We already did that. No, YouTube became our annual search engine. India, the largest YouTube audience in the world, by the way, 467 million users. That's basically 1/3 of our entire population. But we're not just watching anymore. We're searching. Best biryani in Hyderabad, how to negotiate salary at an interview, which laptop under 50,000. All of it goes into YouTube search now. And Instagram filled the TikTok-shaped hole in our lives. With 95 million active users in India, Instagram became our visual search engine. Short-form video usage in India jumped 22% year over year. We're scrolling through Reels at 2 a.m., looking for everything from fashion tips to how to fold a fitted sheet. Nobody knows how to fold a fitted sheet, by the way. It's impossible, but we keep searching. And then there's WhatsApp, our secret weapon. WhatsApp became the community search engine. Instead of Googling, is this phone actually good or is the marketing lying to me? We ask our groups, our college groups, our family groups. That random group of people we met at a wedding 3 years ago. We trust our people more than we trust algorithms. And honestly, can you blame us? The numbers are kind of insane. Check this one out. 67% of Gen Z use Instagram for local business search. Not Google Map, Instagram. 62% use YouTube for product research. 60% trust influencer recommendations more than brand advertisements. Which, if you are a brand spending crores on traditional advertising, should probably concern you. And this one's my favorite one. 77% of Gen Zs made a purchase influenced by social media in the last 6 months alone. Well, that's not a trend, my friends. That's a complete rewriting of how an entire generation makes decisions. So, naturally, I wanted to know, why is this happening? Why are young people ghosting Google after decades of loyalty? So what I did was talk to a bunch of Gen Z folks here in Bangalore and a few in Mumbai and Delhi, even a few college students from Pune. And 3 reasons kept coming up like clockwork. First, authenticity. When you Google best Italian restaurant in Mumbai, what actually shows up? Be honest. You get paid ads at the top, right? Someone paid money to be there, which already makes you suspicious. Then you get SEO optimized articles from food blogs that may or may not be telling you the truth. Then you get Zomato reviews that might be written by the owner's cousin. But when you search on Instagram or YouTube, you get Priya from Bandra showing you her actual pasta filmed on her phone with actual opinion. This place is overhyped. The portions are tiny. Or you get the food blogger showing you exactly what 800 rupees gets you. Real people, real experiences, real food you can actually see. This girl that I talked to in Bangalore, 24 years old, works in marketing, puts it out perfectly. She said, I don't trust texts anymore. Show me the thing. Don't describe it in flowery language. Don't tell me it's ambrosial or whatever. Show me the actual plate or food and tell me if it's actually worth my money. Honestly, she has a point there. The second thing that came up was speed. Google gives you 10 blue links. You have to click on one, load the page, scroll past 3 ads, find the actual information. Maybe open another tab to cross-reference. It's work. Instagram Reels, boom, 60 seconds and you're done. Everything you need to know, the answer, the visuals, the demonstration, someone's personal opinion, all in 1 minute flat. YouTube Shorts, same. How to make masala dosa went from being a 2,000-word blog post with someone's entire life story before the recipe to a 45-second video showing you exactly how to spread the batter, flip it, what color it should be. No fluff. No, when I was growing up in Kerala, my grandmother used to blah, blah, blah. It's just the information. Gen Zs, they don't have the time for your 7-paragraph intros. Show them in 60 seconds or they're gone. And honestly, after sitting through a few scroll to recipe blog posts myself, I get it. The third thing that came up, was community and context. Now, this one's a big one. This is the secret sauce that Google can't replicate no matter how hard they try. When you're Googling something, you get information. That's it. Information in a void. When you search social media, you get connection. You get people. You get community. You're not just finding a product. You're finding the actual person who uses it, the community of people who love it, the creator who's built their whole brand around explaining it. And here's the magic part. You can comment. You can slide into their DMs. You can ask follow-up questions. Hey, does this work for oily skin? Which shade should you use? Where did you buy this in India? Now, this marketing student in Delhi, 21 years old, told me something that stuck with me. She said, when I'm looking for makeup tips, I don't want some generic article written for white skin in a different climate. I want to see someone who looks like me, lives in India, preferably Delhi, uses products I can actually buy, say, at a Nykaa store. Instagram gives me that. Google gives me articles written in New York. You see, context matters. Relevance matters. Connections matters. And Google, for all its algorithms and machine learning, can give you that human element. Now, let's talk about money. Because this is where it gets really interesting for anyone who owns a business or works in marketing. Gen Z globally is sitting on $12 trillion in spending power by 2030. $12 trillion. In India, specifically, Gen Z is expected to account for 43% of total consumer spending by 2028. Nearly half of all that money being spent in this country will be controlled by people who don't use Google for search. Let that one marinate for a second. And these folks aren't shopping like their parents did, not even close. 72% of Gen Z purchased a product after seeing it on social media, not after searching it on 10 different websites, not after reading spec sheets and reviews, after watching a video of someone using it and saying, yeah, this is pretty good. This has spawned an entirely new economy that didn't exist 5 years ago. Social commerce in India is heading toward $20 billion by 2025. Instagram shopping, YouTube shopping, WhatsApp business, these aren't nice to have features anymore. This is how people are actually buying things. Influencer marketing in India is a $2.2 billion industry this year, growing 25% annually. Why? Simple, because Gen Z trusts that creator with 50,000 followers more than they trust your brand's 5 crore ad campaign. Sorry, not sorry. And here's my favorite stat. The number one thing Gen Z searches for on social media, gift ideas and what to buy. They're literally using Instagram and YouTube as their personal shopping assistants. The mall is now an app on their phone. Now, Google, they're not just simply sitting there and watching their empire crumble while eating ice cream and feeling sad. They're fighting back, and they're fighting really hard. And they're pulling out all the stops. They've introduced multi-search, where you can search using images and text together. They've integrated Google Lens into everything. They've launched YouTube Shorts specifically to compete with Reels and TikTok. Oh yeah, they've also added the Perspectives feature in search results, where they actually show social media posts directly in your search results. They're even testing indexing public Instagram content in Google search. So basically, if you can't beat the system, absorb them. But here's the $1 million question. Is it too late? Because once people change their habits, Once an entire generation grows up with a different muscle memory, I need to know something. Let me open Instagram. That's really hard to undo. So what does all this mean for you? Let's break it down here. Now, if you own a business, right, stop obsessing over how do I rank on Google and start thinking, how do I show up when someone searches my product category on Instagram? Optimize your Instagram bio like your business depends on it, because it might. Use searchable keywords. Create reels that answer the most common questions in your industry. Become the answer people find when they search. Now, if you're into marketing, let's say your SEO strategy needs a complete overhaul. Instagram SEO is a real thing now. YouTube SEO is critical. Even LinkedIn is becoming a search engine for professional content. The game's changing rapidly, and if you're still playing by the 2015 rules, probably you're behind. If you're just a regular person trying to buy stuff and make informed decisions, just be aware that your searching behavior, your data, everything you do is being tracked and analyzed to serve you better ads, better products, more targeted content. The algorithm knows you better than you know yourself at this point. All right. With that being said, let's be honest here. Google is going nowhere. Let's be clear about that, all right? For complex research, academic queries, technical documentation, finding that one obscure error message, Google is still king. When I need to understand the nuances of tax policy or find a specific research paper, what do you think I'm doing? I'm still Googling. But for everyday stuff like where should I eat tonight? What phone should I buy? How do I fix this leaking tap? Should I buy this dress? Gen Z, they've left the building. They're on Instagram, YouTube, and WhatsApp. And wherever Gen Z goes, the rest of us eventually follow. Well, that's how things work these days. Next time you need to search for something, pay attention to which app you instinctively open. If you're under 30, I bet your money is not on Google. And if you're over 30, give it a year or two, you'll get there. This is the Nelson John 360 podcast, where I try and make sense of the changing world, one conversation at a time. If this episode made you think about your own search habits, or if you're now paranoid about which apps you're opening, share this with someone who still says, just Google it. Let's see how long that phrase survives in our vocabulary. Until next time, stay curious, stay skeptical, and maybe diversify your search strategies. You can leave me a message on Instagram. Yes, on Instagram. Nelson John 360. I'll catch you on the next one. Have a great day.